What is this, follow the leader? It's raining, it's pouring. Funny enough, they said in some places the water reservoirs are actually really low compared to normal, so I guess the rain is invited to them. And apparently there's going to be another transit strike. This one says full Skytrain shutdown planned for Tuesday morning. This is not the bus, it's the Skytrain, basically the rapid transit. Apparently, like the other one, it's for more pay. It says wages for Skytrain workers vary depending on a person's duty. On the low end, a receptionist or data entry clerk makes $24.95 an hour, and a customer service attendant makes $26.43 an hour. While an escalator or elevator technician, the highest paid tradesperson, makes $49.94 an hour. And it says the contract expired on August 31st, and apparently the strikes will commence on Tuesday at 5 a.m. all the way till Friday at 5 a.m. So that's a long time. It's going to be bad, especially I guess for people like tourists who rely on the rapid transit to get around. You know, it's interesting reading this because in a lot of places drone delivery is ready to take off, but as they say, it's usually things like the regulations and all that stop people from doing it. This one here says, parcels cannot be delivered by air until drones fitted with anti-crash software, Civil Aviation Authority says. As the pre-Christmas present buying frenzy reaches fever pitch, over 100 million parcels are expected to be delivered in the coming weeks. Yet, the approaching future where the expected knock at the door is replaced by a phone alert that delivery drone has landed can only happen after a new safety crash prevention technology is developed, the Civil Aviation Authority has said. This week, the CAA published a document outlining that drones will need specialist software, making them visible to planes, air controllers, and each other before they can be flown beyond sight of a human operator. The regulator has also said delivery and commercial drones will need automated crash avoidance capabilities as standard, so they can detect and get out of the way of fast oncoming objects like planes and gliders. And I guess it says how over there you can't fly it beyond 500 meters away from whoever's controlling it unless it's for an emergency situation, like a special circumstance. And it says what we are saying is that if you want delivery drones, infrastructure, inspection drones, and all those things, they all need to be part of the air safety infrastructure and integrate safely. That is how you achieve it. It needs to be a combination of the drones themselves sending out signals to be part of that system. The drones having the technology separate from other things, ramping the technology on the other airspace users so they can fit into the system, and building up ground infrastructures to support it. From reading this, I personally said if you're doing a drone operation delivering goods and all that, like parcels, then yeah, I can understand to be very strict, to be very thorough. Like in this case, they say things like obstacle avoidance sensors and all that. Although it makes me wonder in that case, if it's someone manually flying it, would there be really any difference between that guy flying the drone versus someone in the actual manned aircraft? Like, I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but does a traditional plane have an obstacle avoidance, like feature, so to speak? It brings up the point and thought of integrating stuff like this into the airspace in general in that way. It has to be both ways too, because right now, just from what I see, it sounds like it's so one way in terms of, hey, I'm the airplane pilot, you're the drone operator, you stay away from me. It's almost like the regular manned person or whatever, they could be flying for fun, they could fly however they wish, and it's still your fault if they, like, say, do something dumb and they crash into you. Overall, I think, again, huge difference between people flying it for fun in like an open field or whatever versus people doing it commercially in this way. And then it was interesting reading this because with those stories like yesterday, for example, where they say, keep drones away from animals, this one they actually want to place it in an area with animals. It says, drone to track animals at Mahananda Sanctuary. According to the Assistant Wildlife Warden, Mahananda Wildlife Sanctuary are pressing into service one drone into the sanctuary next week, making it the first time that the machine will be used for animal surveillance in North Bengal. The Forest Department is all set to introduce drones to track the movement of animals, especially elephants and leopards, that are often in conflict with humans. Forest officials also expressed concerns about unmanaged garbage disposals at certain places, which they said had been attracting wild animals. According to the Assistant Wildlife Warden, Mahananda Wildlife Sanctuary, they are pressing into the service one drone in the sanctuary next week, making it the first time the machine will be used for animal surveillance in North Bengal. And so they said they're basically going to train a bunch of people to use this, and it says the machine will chiefly be used to locate animals that have gone into difficult areas where the forest staff will have problems entering. So I guess in general, like with that story, if they were using something like, just say like a Phantom or something like that, just to monitor the area, I don't think they should have as strict of a regulation as, say, those drones that are doing massive deliveries and all that. So there has to be a huge distinction there. Can you imagine there, for people to operate a drone just for that specific purpose, just to monitor the animals? Basically, they'd be required to give out these detailed plans and stuff like that. Like, okay, how are you gonna avoid other manned aircraft and all that? Like, that would be a little overboard. I guess with that thought, I think I'm about ready to submit all those extra details for the SFOC that they want, just for me to fly up and down. So we'll see how it goes. And funny enough, I actually asked some people just for some potential guidance and all that, but apparently this process is way too new, where a lot of people, actually even professionals from the old way of doing it, aren't even aware exactly of what you need and all that. So it's be kind of interesting. I guess I'll be one of the first few, so to speak, to try this under the new system. But for the most part, just from doing this so far, I just think it's a little overboard what I'm writing and what they're asking. Again, I'm flying up and down. I'm standing here in visual line of sight. What a bully. Looks like there's no flying today. I guess it's time for the archive. Alright, see you guys later.